with regard to the situation that the Bruins found themselves in on Friday afternoon, I thought it was interesting to hear Don Sweeney, their general manager, step up on Saturday and shoulder a lot of the blame for that on himself. Here is what Don Sweeney said.
And obviously the captain and Brad Marchand, and that one goes back a long ways for me and cuts deeper than really any player that I've had the privilege of getting to know and watch thrive and become a Hall of Famer and a great one of the greatest Bruins ever. So a difficult day from that standpoint, personally, professionally. It's making some very difficult decisions, and want to wish each and every one of them well. They're going to teams that we're jealous of. We've been in the same situation with those teams that they're loading up. And had we done our jobs, if I had done my job appropriately, starting there, we would be adding like we have in 10 previous years.
Wow. Okay. So are you happy with that? He said if he had done his job appropriately, then they wouldn't be in this situation. I don't know if you can pin it entirely on him. There was an Emily Kaplan report yesterday which detailed the fact that Don Sweeney and Cam Neely, I'm assuming, had to go to ownership and beg for them when it came to the offer that they were giving Brad Marchand to get an extra year, to get the third year on there.
Oh, wow.
So, again, here we are with the meddling owners in things.
So it was ownership that didn't want to pay Marchand?
According to her report, in order to even offer 3 years, ownership, I guess, wanted them to do 2 years.
All right.
I don't know about the AAV. I don't think she knows or anybody knows about the AAV part.
They were just far apart is the only report.
Far apart on that. But when it came to getting a third year,
right,
they had to march upstairs and ask the chairman or son of chairman if they could do a third year or not. That's their job. That's Cam Neely and Don Sweeney's job.
I talk to chairman every day.
Yeah, let them cook. It's ridiculous that they have to go up and ask ownership about that. And I don't care. It doesn't matter who the player is. We can argue till we're blue in the face about whether you wanted Brad Marchand to finish his career here or not. I think a lot of people did.
Right.
I know Mike Milbury did. We'll talk to Mike Milbury on Thursday, but Mike Milbury thought he had earned that opportunity to finish his career here. I don't know how you're a former athlete.
I feel like ownership's all right, you just, I get that you're the president and the GM, but you still have to run things by ownership when it comes to, contract.
To the length of a term of a contract for Brad Marchand?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Well, yeah. What if Marchand said, I want 5 years? Are they supposed to just get the deal done?
No, but that's not
But they agreed on 3.
Yeah. It was just money.
Yeah, it was just the money number.
So then, but that's the thing. So it wasn't the years, then it was the money.
Yeah, 3 years they had agreed on. That was the report.
Right. So how much money did he want?
Yeah, they agreed after those guys had to go up there and beg him to do
it.
Right.
It makes a lot more sense as to why they treated Marchand like he had an entirely no-trade clause at the deadline and allowed him to pick his destination. Because they're like, we don't want to deal you, but we feel like we have to.
I think that they did him a favor. I think Don Sweeney and Cam Neely did him a favor by working a deal with Florida. I mean, do you think if they had their druthers, since that was the word that Don Sweeney used a few weeks ago, he would be going to the Florida Panthers? No.
You mean Don Sweeney? But then people I'm kind of confused on how you're thinking.
Go ahead.
Because I thought everybody...
you're confused a lot on this show.
But I thought everybody and their mama wanted Marchand gone, but now we're all like, well, they should have just gave him the extra year. So let's say they would have said, all right, here's a 3-year
deal. I don't think everybody and their mama wanted him gone. I think a lot of people...
I think Curtis put up a poll.
That's one poll, though. Would
you have been happy, Marchand?
Not my poll.
Would you have been happy because he's making $6.2 million a year? Let's say they go, all right, Marchand's coming back 3 years, $12 million.
Yeah. Again, it's not my money. Why do I care? I don't know why there's all this. I think it's fake outrage when people do that.
I think in order to blow it up, which is what they had to do, they had to trade Marchand. I don't think they got the value for him. And Shine pointed out in his lead this morning that it may be because he's going to be out for a longer period than anybody thought. But I don't think they got the value that they could have got for Brad Marchand. I think they did him a favor and traded him where he wanted to go. And I think it's because they could not get the chairman to agree to a reasonable number on a 3-year deal.
But who would
That's
want
what
him?
I think.
But who would want him for 3 years and $12 million? I wouldn't. You wouldn't. Courtney's the only one. We know Curtis wouldn't.
Well,
Sean wouldn't.
I just think like people pay guys at the end of their career all the time, probably more than what they deserve. Like to say that $12 million over 3 years for Brad Marchand is outrageous. It's not.
No, it's not that I'm saying it's outrageous.
So then what?
Nobody wanted him. They want to rebuild this team, and by you bringing Brad Marchand back, we were the only two. I said they won't do it because they didn't have enough courage to do it. They proved me wrong. But if they would have re-signed Brad Marchand if we're sitting here today and there's an extension for Marchand, 3 years and $12 million, the majority of people would be like, what the hell were the Bruins doing?
Yeah, Buchagras was reporting that, or speculating that they offered 2 years, $3 million a year.
Okay.
He wanted 3 years or a little more money for 2 years.
Okay.
So, I mean, to get Brad Marchand at $3+ million a year for a couple of years.
Well, that's what I said. That was
very reasonable.
That was my haircut when we talked about it.
Yeah, it's very, very reasonable to me.
But then, Sean, people and Greg would have been, why are you bringing this guy back?
Well, I think it's hard because in that situation we never know. We never would have known what the return would have been for Marchand. But knowing what the return is, I would have been fine with a 2-year, $9 million contract or whatever. I don't know what the money is.
Right.
But like 2 under 10, fine. That's great. That's cool. Like you're only getting a 2nd-round pick. You got the same by trading Trent Frederick and Max Jones.
Right. That's the problem, is he didn't get any value for him. And that's why I think that there must be some frustration on the part of Don Sweeney. And so he said, fine, then if you're not going to pay him, we can't make a deal with Brad Marchand. We're going to trade him somewhere that he wants to go as a favor to the player. But that's just me speculating.